Hey guys, welcome to another English commentary done by Diggity. First of all, I do know that Clazart and Cholera did this match, but I had a fan request, and honestly haven't been able to do as many commentaries as I've wanted to lately because I've been ill, and my voice has been somewhat choppy. Just been difficult, because I've had the cough and everything else. My voice still sounds maybe a little bit off, but at least I feel like it sounds a little bit off, but feeling better overall. This match between Upmagic and Flash, two titans of Terran play, in the Batoo OSL Group B. Hope you guys enjoy it. We have Flash starting the up right-hand corner in teal, Upmagic starting the bottom left-hand corner in orange. Flash had just a reign of dominance last year, and a little bit alongside Jaedong, but really had his time in the sun, specifically known for his anti-Protoss builds in that Katrina era, had that anti-carrier build in particular that was just really stomping all over Protoss level of play. And it's really been something that I would say is standard these days. You'll just see that quick upgrade sort of thing, and that's just, I really feel like Flash is the guy who popularized that recently. Upmagic, of course, an innovator on his own. He hasn't had the same success that Flash has had. Moletrap and I have actually been personal fans of Upmagic for quite some time. I guess I'll spoil that out there. Just because we really wanted to see him win that OSL. I think it was 3 or 4 OSLs ago, but Jaedong was just playing so well. Just kind of walked over him, and I think that might have been where Jaedong ended up meeting Flash in the finals. Looks like he's sending out an early scout just to get an idea of what Flash is doing. This is on Chupung-Ryeong, so just a two-player map. Upmagic, of course, an innovator of his own, known for being the southpaw and playing a little bit off-kilter. Just kind of mixing up his builds intentionally to confuse his enemies. He does proxy barracks to get an early scout in. Maybe put up a little bit of, I assume not any marine pressure, simply because, yeah, there'll be a vulture there, there'll be a marine there, there'll be something to deal with it. Heck, SCVs can come off the line. So just a really early scout there from Upmagic. He's also putting down the refinery. Maybe thinking about being a little bit aggressive. He just definitely wants to keep an eye on what Flash is doing. That's always important. Anyway, but Upmagic, yeah, with that southpaw style, I think most recently known for quote-unquote the Upmagic build, which I feel is more like a progression out of the fantasy build, which is, I guess, a progression of, I guess it's technically UV's build, but that Mech versus Zerg, which he's really progressed, and Upmagic's really stuck with that, even on maps that people said, yeah, this isn't a very good mech map, and you're still going with that. What's the deal? Anyway, I just feel like that's been kind of a natural progression. Upmagic kind of picking up the flow of really what I feel like started with Lomo, and then Boxer had the Valkyrie thing, and then it went to Fantasy, and then it's Upmagic's build immediately. It's just kind of popularizing tech as an opening option. So it looks like we have Flash putting down that factory. Pretty standard play thus far. It looks like he's got that single SCV on gas, so he's thinking about going for fast expansion. On the opposite end, it looks like Upmagic is as well. Upmagic, wow, really determined about the scouting here, sending up a Marine, an SCV, and the barracks, so making sure he has 3 scouting options here inside of Flash's base. That SCV is definitely going to get ushered out. It looks like it's almost already pinned in this back corner here. But again, 2 more scouting options, so I don't think Upmagic's too concerned. And he's pushing up an SCV, it looks like, or he's pushing up his own Marine. He lost that Marine, but he just wanted to delay that factory as much as possible. Flash a little bit concerned there. And he's able to, wow, Upmagic able to get his SCV out as a result. So loses a Marine in exchange to keep the SCV alive and delay the factory. Just a slim margin there. And he's going to continue with that barracks, and he wants to make sure, I'm surprised he's bringing this barracks up so quickly, because if he loses that barracks this quickly, it could be devastating. I guess he wants to make sure he gets a spot on Flash to make sure he does in fact expand rather than going 2 factory on this map. Chupung-Ryeong is so critical to, we've seen, I don't know, a lot of quick pushes basically to take that first initial ramp, because if you can seal your opponent in across that initial ramp, it's just devastating to hold territory after that, and it's just difficult just because of the layout of the map to hold bases past your initial 2. So we'll see what these 2 players can do after their initial expansions. Both players going, it looks like Flash going for a little bit more of a safe expansion on the inside, maybe concerned about that floating barracks above his base, thinking, oh no, this could be for spotting to bring up some siege tanks or something like that. So being a little bit safer, building on the interior. Machine shop now going down for both players, and a vulture coming up to pick off a little bit on the front line. He might be able to pick off a Marine, so early scores here from Upmagic. Able to do some initial damage, and once again, first of all, he's going to be able to continue the scout, taking out, and more vultures pushing up. So Upmagic putting on the pressure on his opponent. He's not going to be able to do much more with that tank in the way, but able to keep Flash definitely on the back foot in this initial game. So, and continuing to put the pressure on, doing a really successful job in doing that. I would say that was a pretty fair exchange. Now putting down, wow, putting down the starport, so thinking about a quick switch to air. He might be thinking about getting dropships out as quickly as possible. He's already had vultures on the ground. Might be thinking about sneaking some vultures along that backside ramp here. Secondary almost up. It looks like Upmagic's is already up, so he's going to have a little bit of an advantage economically at this stage. Flash is he's just going to have what, that 6, 7, 8 seconds of mining time earlier, but it looks like a Wraith, so initial Wraith coming out for Upmagic. Again, going to make sure he gets that spotting. He'll also be able to do a little bit of harassment here, and we'll see Flash is going to be somewhat delayed. He's not going to have any anti-air for a minute, simply because, again, Flash has been distracted by Upmagic. He doesn't have an armory down as far as I can see, and he doesn't have a starport down himself as well. And what this might be leading into is Upmagic is thinking about just trying to get that quick seal, get some mines, get some siege tanks up on that second ridge, and then just have some Wraith above to make sure dropships can't really break out that exterior. And we'll see, it looks like Flash managing to sneak an SCV in. This is an incredibly late scout, so Flash able to get in, see what he's up to. He did not see the starport critically though, and it looks like yeah, now he's going to put in some pressure, and it looks like he's upgrading. This is not going to be successful though, because first of all, 2 tanks and a Vulture to engage this, but additionally that Wraith is going to be coming out. Actually, the Wraith in the back of Flash's base, only a single Marine to try to ward it off. That Marine will be taken out, but it's just to absorb damage, to try to keep those SCVs up as long as possible. There it's taken out, and it looks like it's going to come back to the middle of the map. Looks like Flash has actually managed to establish a degree of position, wandering out an initial tank, but he does have that high ground. He can fall back to that high ground, but that Wraith going to be able to swing back around. Vulture being repaired, 1 tank taken out on either side. It looks like it's 1 tank versus 2 with the Vulture alongside. Now a second tank coming up to support. So, and this is critical. I really can't emphasize how critical that ramp is. Flash pushing up. Looks like he's already got some mines down on that corner, and even that little bit can be just horrible into the mid-game for Upmagic. So it looks like Flash, at least, even though that Wraith is overhead harassing, looks like it might be taken down by those Marines. Looks like it actually, it's going to be able to escape. More Vultures pushing up there. Holding that ridge is just going to be key, and it's really going to hurt Upmagic into the mid-game. Upmagic trying to take a third factory now. His secondary just rolling right there. I'm going to assume Flash's is as well. 3 tanks on the, looks like on the main, and a couple Vultures just going to wander out to try to get an end around. It doesn't look like that backside is blocked, so a lot of SCV kills. Looks like wow, poor Upmagic. He's just not aware. It looks like some mines, especially at the top of the ramp. That's so difficult when you're moving up a tank. They can just lift up, and just in time getting that supply depot down. And it looks like Flash isn't going to continue to push in with those Vultures either way, so Upmagic just sensing it, getting it there, is not going to end up losing troops as a result. Comsat station down, that'll help Flash with clearing the mines. No detection on the opposite end for Upmagic, so he's not going to be able to really see these mines to help clear it. In the meantime, it just looks like Flash is just establishing position on that first ridge. We'll see if there's siege tech. Yeah, there is siege tech alongside, but still going uphill into the dark. I'm not sure. Oh, he's using that Wraith to spot. Very clever using that Wraith, and it looks like he might be able to take out a mine or 2 just on splash damage alone. So it looks like it's going to be a Wraith tank combination. Still no anti-air aside from Marines on the opposite end from Flash. He's getting his 3rd factory down. Upmagic already at 3 factories. Looks like he's going to go very tank heavy into the mid game. So it's just going to be tank Wraith here. You can see the 3 machine shops down. And just moving up that single tank, I've got to assume that was due to a mine. Again, when you're just pushing up right there, it's black until that last second the mine pops up, you lose your tank. So really Upmagic needs to get some form of detection out there, whether it be a comsat or something. It looks like a Goliath now hitting, and Upmagic is still pinned in because Flash still has that other side of the ridge. Upmagic has a little bit of work to do before he can really pull out of that. You can sneak out that right-hand corner, but it's so vulnerable. You really need to hold that ridge so you can move your troops out. It's just not very viable to move large amounts of troops across that bottom-hand corner. As long as Flash can hold this, he'll be able to basically position. Looks like a comsat now clearing those mines, but Flash still has that opposite end of the ridge. The question is can he hold the opposite of the ridge? And keep in mind, Upmagic does have that starport down. He can transition fairly quickly into dropship, but I assume he's not going to here. He's just going to rely on the continued Wraith harassment here. And it looks like, yeah, he's just going to, now he can push up that ridge, but a lot of siege, a lot of tanks in placement. Throwing up that SCV to absorb an initial tank blow, and neither player really has the high ground here or the mischance. Flash lower on the ramp, and all his tanks getting wiped out. Wow. So nice micro on on Upmagic to just kind of group his tanks. You can see the surprise on Flash's face. He's in a bit of trouble here because, first of all, very outnumbered by tanks here. And it looks like double upgrades for the Vultures, Goliaths, etc. in the backfield, but Flash is going to have to defend. He needs to defend right here, and I'm not sure that he's going to be able to, because it looks like Upmagic might be able to push up, take that ridge. Just 2 tanks, Upmagic can just roll right through that, or bring the Wraith back to do some damage. Those Wraiths still don't have cloaking. It looks like they're just going in to get the scout. Sees the 3 factories down. He sees that the machine shops are also up, and brilliant here from Upmagic. He's going to take the high ground rather than steamrolling through the middle. Unfortunately, he got comp-satted at the very last second. Nice anticipation skills by Flash, realizing that Upmagic was trying to be a little bit tricky here and take the high ground, but it looks like Upmagic going to try to establish position around those middle expansions, and if he can hold those into the late game, he'll be successful. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that forward ramp. Flash doesn't. It looks like Flash is already setting up to take an expansion in that upper left-hand corner, but it looks like Upmagic has also got an SCV in that bottom right-hand corner to take the expansion himself. More vultures heading out into the middle, and again, the Wraith continuing to harass right there. Tanks pushing up to clear those mines. Both players doing beautifully as far as troop anticipation, just comp setting at the exact right places at the exact right time. Looks like Upmagic continuing to try to push around. I think he still feels like he's got that tank advantage, and he is going to have that tank advantage